Captain Alex Ryden gripped the control handles of his small scout craft as it hovered above the alien forest. The world below glowed with colors he had never seen before. Trees that shimmered like molten glass, plants that pulsed softly with light, and rivers that glinted like liquid stars. It was beautiful, yes, but dangerous. Every explorer knew this. Every scientist knew that beauty often hid peril. Alex had come here for research, for discovery, and, truthfully, for a little adventure. He had studied the reports of strange energy readings on this planet, reports that hinted at life forms unlike anything in human experience, and yet, nothing in the reports could have prepared him for the small cry he heard suddenly through the dense foliage. The sound was faint, almost lost beneath the hum of the forest, but it was unmistakable, small, frightened, and humanly recognizable. Alex froze for a moment. There were very few humans near this planet. Only one was missing. Then his heart jumped. The sound wasn't human. It was a child, but not any child he had ever seen. He quickly scanned the trees with his binoculars. There, tangled in a web of crystalline vines that had grown fast and sharp, was a small figure. It looked humanoid, but its skin shimmered pale blue, almost translucent in the light. Its large eyes were golden and round, filled with terror. Its tiny hands reached out helplessly. Alex knew instantly he had to act. No time to think, he muttered to himself. Just go. He unstrapped from his craft and descended carefully, using a magnetic grappling line to anchor himself to a sturdy, glowing tree trunk. The vines that held the child were tricky. They seemed almost alive, twisting and tightening with every movement. Alex knelt, taking a deep breath. "Hey!" he called softly. "I'm here to help." "Don't be afraid." The child froze, fear turning into confusion. Then it slowly reached out as Alex carefully cut through the vines with a small laser tool. Sparks flew, and the child flinched. Alex worked quickly, every second counting. The vines had thorns that could pierce through skin easily. Finally, with a last careful slice, the child was free. It fell forward, and Alex caught it just in time. The small alien shivered in his arms, trembling, its glowing skin flickering faintly like a candle flame. "It's okay, little one," Alex whispered. "You're safe now." The child didn't respond with words. He had no words Alex could understand. But his eyes, wide and shining, held a flicker of trust. Alex smiled gently, brushing a tiny glowing lock of hair away from the child's face. "Don't worry. I've got you." Carrying the child carefully, Alex scanned the surrounding area. The forest was alive with subtle sounds, soft hums, clicks, and whispers from unseen creatures. He knew predators could be near. One wrong move, and they could be both in danger. The trek back to his craft was difficult. Every step had to be careful. The child clung tightly, and Alex noticed the faint glow spreading from his chest. It pulsed gently like a heartbeat. The alien child was extraordinary. Alex's mind raced. Was this glow natural? A sign of life force? Or something else entirely? Finally, they reached the landing area where his scout craft hovered safely. Alex set the child down gently, checking him over for injuries. The child seemed shaken but unharmed, though a faint trail of glowing light followed him wherever he moved. Alex knelt, examining it. "You're remarkable," he said. "I don't even know what to call you yet." The child tilted his head, blinking. Then slowly a small musical sound escaped his lips, a word perhaps or a name. Alex's translator device picked up the frequency and tried to convert it. "Lumi," it said. The device hesitated, unsure. "That might be your name, little one." Lumi blinked at him as if acknowledging it. "Lumi," Alex repeated, testing the sound. "Yes, that's a good name." He hoisted Lumi into the craft, securing him in a small harness designed for passengers. The alien child's glowing skin cast a soft light on the interior of the cockpit, and Alex couldn't help but marvel at the beauty. As they lifted off, Alex scanned the area below. The vines in the forest seemed to writhe and shift as though the planet itself was watching him. He shook the thought away. He had work to do. Safely returning the child was priority number one. Once they were a safe distance above the forest, Alex tried to communicate with Lumi again. "Can you tell me what happened? Were you lost? Or hurt?" Lumi didn't answer in words. Instead, he placed his small hand on Alex's arm. A warm sensation spread from the touch, and Alex felt a strange connection, as though he could sense the child's fear and trust all at once. He smiled softly, realizing he didn't need words. "I'll take care of you," he said. "I promise." The journey to the nearest Lumari settlement was smooth but tense. The scout craft was small, designed for exploration, not speed or combat. Alex had to navigate narrow canyons and energy storms that shimmered in the alien sky. Lumi remained quiet, occasionally glancing around with wide, curious eyes. Eventually, they reached a clearing where the settlement began to rise, a series of tall, crystalline towers hovering above the ground, glowing softly in shades of violet and blue. The structure seemed alive, responding to the presence of Alex's craft with gentle pulses of light. Alex landed carefully, setting Lumi down first. The child ran a few steps ahead, turning back to look at him. Alex followed cautiously, aware that he was entering a world completely alien to him. Suddenly, a group of beings appeared. Taller than humans, their skin glimmered like polished silver, and their eyes reflected every color of the forest. They moved gracefully, their gestures precise and elegant. Alex realized they were Lumari, the people of this world. One of them stepped forward, clearly a leader. Her presence was commanding yet gentle. She had an aura of authority and wisdom. Alex instinctively stepped forward, raising a hand in greeting. "I am Captain Alex Ryden," he said clearly. "I found your child. He was trapped in the forest. I brought him back." The Lumari leader studied him carefully, her golden eyes narrowing slightly. Then she looked at Lumi, who ran toward her, glowing brighter with each step. She lifted the child into her arms, holding him close. Alex noticed the faint relief in Lumi's expression. "Lumi," the leader said softly, her voice melodic and deep. "You are safe." Alex nodded, lowering his hand respectfully. "I'm glad I could help. He's very special. I think he's extraordinary." The Lumari leader turned to him fully, her gaze piercing. "You are human," she said. "And yet you risked yourself for our child." "Why?" Alex thought for a moment. "Because it was the right thing to do," he said simply. "Because I couldn't leave him there. I couldn't just walk away." The leader studied him a long moment, then inclined her head slightly. "You are brave," she said, "and kind. Not many beings would act as you have." Alex felt a small surge of pride tempered by caution. "I'm just human," he said. The Lumari leader's eyes softened as she looked at Lumi. "Perhaps humans are more than we believed," she murmured. Lumi's glow flickered again, as if in agreement. Then he reached out and placed his hand gently on Alex's arm. The warmth spread once more. Alex smiled, feeling a deep connection forming. But the leader's next words were firm. "You have done well, human. But our ways are ancient. Outsiders do not usually remain among us. For your courage, we honor you. But this world is not yours to stay." Alex's smile faltered. He had hoped, perhaps, that he could remain, even for a short while. He nodded slowly, understanding her meaning. Yet he felt a pang of disappointment. "I understand," he said quietly. "I just wanted to help." "You have helped," she replied, "and that will not be forgotten." As the sun, or what passed for the sun on this alien world, set behind the floating towers, Alex watched Lumi reunited with his mother. He felt a mixture of pride, awe, and a strange sense of connection. He had come to this planet seeking discovery. Instead, he had found something far more valuable, a bond between species, a glimpse of courage and kindness, and a promise that humans could make a difference, even here, in a world so far from their own. The scout craft hovered above the glowing towers of the Lumari settlement. Alex Ryden adjusted the controls, making sure Lumi stayed safe in his harness. The child had been quiet since the reunion with his mother, but every now and then his glowing skin pulsed gently, like a heartbeat in light. Alex didn't understand it yet, but he sensed that Lumi's glow was more than mere biology. It carried feelings, maybe even intelligence beyond human understanding. "This way, little one," Alex whispered. The palace isn't far. The towers of the city shimmered in soft blues, purples, and greens. From above, the settlement looked alive, as if each building breathed. Walkways and bridges connected the towers, some of them transparent, revealing sparkling energy flowing like rivers beneath. Alex had seen advanced civilizations before, but the Lumari had taken technology and art and made them one. Every corner was a work of living light. The landing platform for the palace was at the tallest tower, a structure that seemed to float above the clouds of glowing mist. Alex guided the scout carefully, aware that a single misstep could damage the delicate surface. Lumi's golden eyes widened as he looked around, stepping out of the craft as soon as the harness unlocked. The child ran a few steps, then turned back to Alex, glancing at him with a silent question. Alex smiled. "Don't worry. I'm right here." Two tall, silver-skinned guards approached, their eyes glowing faintly as they assessed him. One stepped forward, speaking in a melodic language. Alex raised a hand in greeting. His universal translator clicked to life. "I am Captain Alex Ryden," he said clearly. "I found your child trapped in the forest and brought him back safely." The guard studied him for a long moment, then nodded. One of them gestured for him to follow. Alex moved carefully, carrying Lumi by the hand as they ascended the floating stairs to the palace entrance. The walls seemed to ripple with energy, light flowing beneath the surface in delicate patterns. Inside the palace, the air was warm and soft. A low hum resonated through the hallways like the heartbeat of the building itself. Alex felt a shiver of awe. He had visited many alien worlds, but this palace was alive in a way he had never experienced. At the center of the palace stood a large circular chamber, lit by a radiant dome above. The glow of the dome bathed the room in soft gold and silver, and there, seated on a throne of crystal and light, was the Queen of the Lumari. Queen Solara was taller than any human, her form elegant and commanding. Her skin shimmered faintly like polished pearl, and her golden eyes held a depth that seemed to reach into Alex's soul. When she spoke, her voice was both melodic and firm. "You have returned our child," she said in perfect common, thanks to Alex's translator. "You are human. I have heard of your kind, but never have I seen one brave enough to enter the dangers of our forests." Alex bowed slightly. "Your Highness, it was the right thing to do. I could not leave Lumi there. He needed help." The Queen's gaze softened briefly as she looked at Lumi, who was now hiding slightly behind Alex's leg. "You risked your life for him," she said. "And yet, humans are not usually part of our world. You must understand our hesitation." Alex nodded. "I understand. I only want to help." The Queen rose gracefully from her throne, walking toward them. The guard stepped back, allowing her to approach. Lumi peeked out from behind Alex, taking cautious steps toward his mother. The Queen crouched slightly, wrapping Lumi in her arms. Alex noticed the subtle glow in Lumi's skin intensify, as though the child was communicating something only she could understand. "He is safe," the Queen said softly, holding Lumi close. "Thanks to you, human. Your courage has saved him." Alex smiled faintly. "I'm glad he's safe." The Queen's expression turned serious. "But our laws are clear. Outsiders, even those who act bravely, cannot remain among us permanently. Our customs protect our people and our world." Alex's chest tightened. He had hoped to stay even for a short while, to learn more about the Lumari, to understand their world and their people. And perhaps, he admitted silently, he wanted to be near Lumi, the extraordinary child who had captured his heart in such a short time. "I understand, Your Highness," he said quietly. "I only wanted to help. I do not wish to break your customs." The Queen studied him carefully. Then she gestured toward the chamber doors, and the guards led Alex to a side hall. The walls here glowed with soft flowing patterns, showing scenes of Lumari history, creatures like Lumi growing up, floating cities in the sky, and battles of survival and diplomacy across the stars. "This is our history," the Queen explained, her voice softening. "We have lived here for thousands of cycles. Our traditions keep us safe, our laws protect our children. You must understand that, brave human. You are a guest, but you're not one of us." Alex nodded again, though a pang of sadness hit him. "I understand," he repeated. "I will respect your ways." The Queen then turned to Lumi, who had quietly touched Alex's arm, leaving a faint glow behind. She smiled almost wistfully. "Lumi has bonded with you," she said. "This is rare even among our kind. You have qualities that we do not often see. Compassion, courage, wisdom." Alex felt a small warmth spread in his chest. "Thank you," he said softly. "I only did what I felt was right." The Queen studied him for a long moment, her golden eyes searching. "Perhaps humans have more to teach us than we thought," she murmured. Then she straightened. "But still, you cannot remain. You will be honored, yes, but our laws are absolute." Alex bowed. "I will not defy your laws, Your Highness." Lumi's small hand left a glowing trace on Alex's arm, a silent gesture of gratitude. Alex looked down at the child and smiled. "I will remember you, Lumi," he said. And I hope you will remember me too. The Queen returned to her throne, her eyes following Alex as he took a step back. You have done well, human. You have shown courage and kindness and a respect for life that our world has rarely seen from outsiders. These qualities will not be forgotten. Alex glanced around the chamber, taking in the beauty and wonder of the palace. He saw the glowing floors, the floating bridges, the soft light that seemed to pulse with life. And yet he also saw something more, a society built on respect, honor, and wisdom. He realized that humans, with all their flaws, could learn from this world, and perhaps even teach it something in return. After a brief pause, the Queen addressed Lumi. You are safe now, my child. You have returned to us. You will grow, you will learn, and you will thrive. Lumi looked up at Alex, his glowing skin flickering softly. Alex felt the bond between them strengthen. It was a connection that transcended words, a bond of trust, respect, and shared experience. Alex took a deep breath, knowing that his role here was temporary. He had done what he came to do. He had saved a life, and in doing so, he had touched the heart of a civilization. That was enough, for now. As he prepared to leave the chamber, the Queen's voice stopped him. Captain Ryden, she said, take what you have learned here with respect. You have shown us that humans are capable of great courage and great compassion. Let that be the legacy of your visit. Alex nodded, bowing one final time. I will, Your Highness. Thank you. He turned to Lumi, who reached out and touched his hand once more, leaving a small glowing mark that would fade but never be forgotten. Alex smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and sadness. The child was safe. The Queen had acknowledged his efforts, but the rules of this world were clear. He could not stay. As he walked back toward his craft, Alex glanced at the glowing towers one last time. He felt a strange sense of connection to this alien world, a bond that would stay with him long after he left. Lumi's trust, the Queen's respect, the beauty of the palace. They were treasures he could carry with him. Memories that no one could take away. The scout craft lifted off smoothly, leaving the palace and the glowing city behind. Alex glanced down at Lumi one last time, and the child's eyes shone back at him with warmth and gratitude. Even as the craft disappeared into the skies above the alien world, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. He had saved a life, forged a bond, and glimpsed the possibilities of cooperation and understanding between humans and alien civilizations. The palace gardens of the Lumari glowed under the light of twin moons. Flowers that shimmered like lanterns lined winding paths, and delicate streams of liquid crystal flowed through the grounds. Alex Ryden walked carefully, carrying Lumi's hand. The child had grown more comfortable around him, but he still hesitated near the taller, shimmering Lumari. You're doing well, little one, Alex said softly. Don't be afraid of them. They're like us, just different. Lumi's golden eyes flickered in response, a quiet acknowledgement. The glowing mark on Alex's hand, left during their first touch, pulsed faintly, a reminder of their bond. Every time Lumi touched him now, it radiated warmth, and Alex could feel the child's emotions more clearly. Curiosity, trust, and sometimes fear. The palace was alive with movement. Lumari floated gracefully along the walkways, their silver-skinned bodies reflecting the garden's soft light. Some paused to observe Alex, their eyes curious but cautious. None spoke directly to him yet, but the atmosphere was less tense than before. You're fitting in faster than I thought, Alex said, crouching to Lumi's level. But don't forget, rules here are important. We have to respect them. Lumi tilted his head, blinking. Then slowly he pressed his glowing hand against Alex's arm. The warmth spread like a gentle pulse, and Alex realized the child was showing gratitude, or maybe encouraging him to follow. As they walked deeper into the gardens, Lumi's glow began to intensify. Flowers nearby leaned subtly toward the child, as if responding to his presence. Alex stopped, staring in awe. He had read about bioluminescence before, but this was different. This child seemed to influence the very life around him. You're special, Lumi, Alex whispered. I think you're more than anyone knows. Suddenly, a soft alarm rang through the palace. The hum of the walls intensified, and energy patterns on the floor shifted nervously. Alex glanced at Lumi. The child's glow flickered rapidly, almost like a heartbeat racing with fear. What's happening? Alex asked, his voice low. Lumi took off running toward a bridge over a sparkling river of light. Alex followed quickly. As they reached the bridge, Alex saw the source of the disturbance. A section of the bridge suspended over the glowing river had begun to collapse. Cracks spread like lightning, threatening to send anyone standing there into the depths below. Alex didn't hesitate. He grabbed Lumi and sprinted across the first stable section. Using his human intuition, he scanned the structure. He noticed the support beams, thin strands of crystalline material that had weakened under pressure. Without tools designed for Lumari technology, he couldn't repair it conventionally, but he could think. He pulled Lumi behind a sturdy column and assessed the remaining safe area. Then he spotted it, small energy-conducting vines running along the bridge's support. If he could redirect the energy through another path, the bridge might stabilize temporarily. "Lumi, I need you to help me," he said. The child's eyes widened, but he nodded. Alex guided Lumi to a small set of glowing conduits on the bridge's edge. Lumi placed his hands on them, and instinctively, energy flowed through his body, illuminating his glowing skin like never before. Alex adjusted the conduits and guided the energy, carefully balancing the flow. Slowly, the bridge trembled less violently. The energy pulses in Lumi's hands seemed to respond to Alex's calm instructions. Within moments, the bridge was stable enough to cross safely. The Lumari guards arrived, astonished to see the human and child working together. One of them gasped. "He saved the bridge." "The human—" The queen appeared then, her eyes wide in surprise. She had watched from the palace balcony, uncertain what Alex would do. Seeing him adapt so quickly, using human ingenuity in combination with Lumi's natural abilities, she realized the depth of their bond and the extraordinary qualities of both. "You are remarkable," she said softly, her voice carrying awe. Not many could have handled that. Alex looked at her, wiping sweat from his brow. "It was teamwork," he said, nodding toward Lumi. "We worked together." Lumi glowed softly, moving closer to Alex. The queen studied them carefully. There was no denying it. The human had earned the child's trust completely, and in doing so he had shown courage, intelligence, and empathy that went beyond what the Lumari expected from outsiders. Later, in the palace's central hall, the queen spoke privately with Alex. "Your actions today, they have impressed me," she said. "The Lumari are cautious by nature. Outsiders rarely earn our trust, yet you have not only helped our child, but also shown understanding of our technology and culture." Alex bowed slightly. "Thank you, Your Highness. I only did what I could. Lumi needed help, and I couldn't ignore it." The queen's expression softened, but her eyes remained serious. "And yet, laws are laws. Outsiders cannot stay permanently, even those who act bravely. Your bond with Lumi, it is unusual, rare, but it does not change the rules of our world." Alex nodded, though a small pang of disappointment hit him. He had hoped to stay, at least long enough to learn more, to teach, and to continue protecting Lumi. He forced a small smile. "I understand. I respect your ways." "Good," the queen said, almost reluctantly. "Still, your influence has changed something. You have proven that courage and compassion, qualities humans possess, can leave a lasting impact here." Lumi approached Alex then, placing his glowing hand gently on Alex's arm. The warmth radiated between them, stronger than ever. Alex knelt to meet the child's eyes. "I'll always be here for you," he said softly. "Even if I can't stay." The child's glow flickered once more, and Alex sensed that Lumi understood. It was a connection that went beyond words, one that would remain even if they were separated by worlds. Over the following days, Alex spent time learning about Lumari culture, guided by Lumi's curiosity. He observed how the child interacted with teachers, mentors, and other children. Lumi displayed intelligence and empathy beyond his years, solving puzzles that had challenged older Lumari students. One day, Alex watched Lumi help a small group of young Lumari repair a broken floating platform. The child's understanding of energy flows was astonishing. Alex realized that Lumi's abilities were unique even among his own kind, and he couldn't help but feel proud. "You're going to do great things, Lumi," Alex whispered during one quiet moment in the garden. "I know it." The child's glow pulsed in response, as if agreeing. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection and responsibility. Even the queen observed quietly from her balcony. She had begun to understand that Alex's influence was more profound than mere courage. It was the combination of human ingenuity, empathy, and patience that allowed Lumi to flourish. But still, the rules of her world were unyielding. She could admire and respect the human, but he could not remain. As the twin moons rose over the glowing towers, Alex and Lumi sat together in the palace gardens. The soft light of flowers and streams reflected in their faces. Lumi's hand rested on Alex's arm, leaving a gentle glow behind, a reminder of their bond. "You've made a difference here," Alex said quietly. "Not just for you, Lumi, but for everyone around you." Lumi looked up at him, eyes shining, and pressed his hand to Alex's cheek. The warmth spread through Alex's entire body, and he realized that he had never felt anything like this bond with any being before. It was more than friendship. It was trust, respect, and understanding, all in one. The palace seemed quiet, but Alex knew that the world beyond these gardens was vast and unpredictable. One day he would have to leave, and when that day came, he had to be sure that Lumi would be safe, that the child would continue to grow and thrive. For now, though, he focused on the present. He watched Lumi explore the garden, playfully touching flowers that responded to his glow, and guiding smaller children in simple games. Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had come to an alien world as an outsider. Now he was part of something bigger, even if only temporarily. And somewhere deep in the palace, the queen observed silently, conflicted. She had seen courage and intelligence, empathy and morality in a human. These were qualities the Lumari valued. But outsiders were still outsiders. The laws of her world could not be bent. Yet the human had left an impression on her that she could not ignore. Alex leaned back against a glowing stone bench, watching Lumi laugh as the other children followed his lead. He realized that courage was not just about bravery and danger. It was about kindness, patience, and understanding. And in this moment, surrounded by light and laughter, he knew that humans could leave a lasting mark on even the most alien worlds. The bond between human and alien child had grown stronger. And though the future was uncertain, Alex Ryden understood one thing clearly. This was a connection that would endure, no matter what challenges lay ahead. For the first time since arriving on the planet, he felt truly at home, even if it was temporary. The twin moons hung low in the sky, casting soft silver light over the palace gardens. Alex Ryden walked quietly beside Lumi, who now moved freely among the glowing flowers and small streams. The child's laughter filled the air, and Alex felt a pang of joy mixed with sadness. He knew the time he could spend here was limited. He had hoped to stay longer, to continue teaching Lumi, and to learn more about the Lumari. But the Queen's warning echoed in his mind. Outsiders cannot remain permanently. "Lumi," Alex said gently, "we need to talk." The child tilted his head, blinking at him with large golden eyes. He did not fully understand, but he felt the seriousness in Alex's voice. Lumi's glow dimmed slightly, a sign of unease. Alex knelt so they were at the same level. "The Queen has rules," he said, "and I cannot stay here forever, no matter how much I want to. But that doesn't mean I'm leaving you without help." Lumi looked down, his small hands fidgeting. He pressed them together, unsure of what to do. Alex reached out and took the child's glowing hand. "We'll make sure you are safe and that you grow up strong and happy. I promise." The child's glow pulsed softly, a sign of understanding and trust. Alex smiled faintly. "Even if I have to leave, our bond will stay with you. You'll remember me, and I'll remember you." The next day, Alex requested an audience with the Queen. He had spent hours thinking, planning, and observing the palace and the Lumari. If he could help Lumi while respecting the rules, he would do it. The throne room was silent when he entered, the walls shimmering softly with flowing light. Queen Solaris sat on her crystal throne, her golden eyes studying him carefully. Lumi walked beside Alex, his small hand glowing faintly as it brushed against Alex's arm. "You have asked to speak with me," the Queen said, her voice calm but firm. "Speak, human," Alex bowed. "Your Highness, I understand your rules. I know that I cannot remain here permanently, but I want to ensure that Lumi has everything he needs to grow safely and to reach his potential. He is special, and I believe I can help him even if I am not allowed to stay." The Queen regarded him silently. "Your concern is noted. But actions have consequences. Outsiders cannot influence our children in ways that could alter their lives permanently. Alex straightened. I do not wish to alter him against your will. I only want to guide him, teach him skills, and help him understand the world just as you teach your children. The Queen studied him for a long moment. Then she gestured for him to continue. Tell me what you propose. Alex took a deep breath. I want to leave behind tools, knowledge, and guidance. I will teach Lumi what I can while I am here, and before I leave I will set up a plan for his continued learning. I can ensure he is safe and strong without breaking your rules. The Queen's expression softened slightly, though her eyes remained cautious. You are brave and clever, human, but I must warn you, any misstep could be dangerous for you and for him. Alex nodded. I understand. I will be careful. I will respect your rules, your people, and this world. Lumi's small hand pressed against Alex's arm, glowing warmly. Alex smiled down at him. We'll do this together, he whispered. Over the next several days, Alex worked tirelessly with Lumi. They explored the palace gardens, learning how to harness Lumi's natural abilities safely. Lumi's glow seemed to respond to Alex's guidance, pulsing with confidence and calm. Together, they solved small problems like directing energy flows to water the floating plants and repairing minor cracks in the crystalline walkways. Each day, Lumi grew more confident, more capable. He laughed and played with other Lumari children, but always returned to Alex's side seeking guidance and support. The bond between them strengthened. Alex felt a deep sense of pride and responsibility. He knew that even if he had to leave, Lumi would carry the lessons, the courage, and the compassion they shared. One afternoon, while they rested beside a stream of liquid crystal, Lumi looked up at Alex with wide eyes. Alex knelt beside him. You've learned so much, Alex said softly. I'm proud of you, Lumi. But there's something important you must understand. One day I may have to leave. That doesn't mean I am gone from your life. I'll always be with you in your heart and in what you've learned. Lumi's glow flickered almost like a heartbeat. He pressed his small hand against Alex's cheek, a gesture of trust and love. Alex hugged him gently, feeling the warmth radiate through his entire body. That evening, Alex met with the Queen once more. She had observed their progress and the bond between human and child. You have done well, she said, her voice soft. The child has grown under your guidance, but the rules remain. You cannot stay. Your work here is complete, human. Alex bowed. I understand, Your Highness. I will leave, but I want to ensure Lumi is safe and continues to thrive. The Queen nodded slowly. You have my permission to prepare him, but once you leave, you must not return. This is the law. Alex felt a pang of sadness, but he nodded. I understand. I will respect your laws. Over the next day, Alex and Lumi prepared for the farewell. He left small tools, books, and devices that could help the child learn and explore safely. He taught Lumi how to use them, demonstrating carefully, always mindful of the child's abilities and safety. You've done so much, Lumi said softly, his glow pulsing. I will never forget you. And I will never forget you, Lumi, Alex replied. You are special and you will do amazing things. Remember to be brave, to be kind, and to use your heart. The final night in the palace was quiet. Alex sat with Lumi in the gardens, watching the twin moons cast soft light over the glowing flowers. The child rested his head against Alex's arm, exhausted but content. Goodbye, Lumi, Alex whispered. Be strong, be kind. And remember me. Lumi's glow pulsed one last time in acknowledgement, and Alex felt the warmth of their bond linger even as he prepared to leave. The next morning, Alex boarded his scoutcraft. The Queen watched from her balcony, her expression calm but thoughtful. She had seen courage, wisdom, and compassion in this human, and though he could not stay, he had left an impression that would endure. Alex looked back one final time at Lumi, who waved gently. The child's glow shone brightly, a symbol of the bond they shared. Alex smiled, feeling pride and sadness together. As the craft lifted into the sky, Alex knew this chapter was ending. But he also knew that the lessons, the courage, and the friendship would continue. Lumi would grow, inspired by the human who had saved him, guided him, and taught him the value of courage, kindness, and intelligence. Even as the glowing towers of the Lumari world faded behind him, Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had made a difference, and that was enough. The adventure was not over. For Lumi, for the Lumari, and for Alex Ryden himself. The bonds they had formed would last beyond worlds, beyond rules, beyond time. The sun, or what passed for the sun on this alien world, was beginning to rise over the floating towers of the Lumari city. Alex Ryden stood on the landing platform of his scout craft, gazing down at the glowing gardens, streams, and bridges of crystal that he had come to know so well. His heart was heavy. Today he would leave this world, leaving behind the child he had saved and nurtured, Lumi. The palace gates opened, and Lumi ran toward him, his golden eyes shining brighter than ever. His glow pulsed gently, casting warm light across Alex's face. The child stopped just short of the craft and pressed his small hand against Alex's arm. "I will miss you," Lumi said, his voice small but clear. The universal translator caught his words, and Alex's heart ached. "I will miss you too, Lumi," Alex said softly, kneeling to meet the child's eyes. "But I know you'll be okay. You're brave, smart, and kind. You can face anything." Lumi looked down, a small glow flickering uncertainly. Then he lifted his head, determination shining in his eyes. "I will remember you. I will be strong. Just like you taught me." Alex smiled. He knew that Lumi's words were true. The bond they shared was not dependent on distance or time. Even if he left, it would remain. The Queen appeared then, descending from her balcony with her usual grace. She wore a calm expression, though Alex sensed the conflict beneath it. She had observed everything, the courage, the empathy, and the bond between human and child. And though she could not allow him to stay, she could not ignore the mark he had left. "You have done well, Captain Ryden," she said, her voice steady but soft. "You have proven the value of courage, wisdom, and compassion, qualities that humans possess and qualities we must recognize and respect." Alex bowed. "Thank you, Your Highness. Your world, your laws, I respect them. I only hope that I have helped, even in a small way." The Queen nodded. "You have helped more than you realize. Lumi will grow strong, guided by what he has learned from you and from his people. And though you cannot remain, your legacy will endure here." Lumi ran up to the Queen, wrapping his small arms around her legs. She looked down at Alex, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "You have given him courage and guidance," she said. "For that, I am grateful." Alex looked at Lumi one last time. "Remember, little one," he said, "courage is not about never being afraid. It's about doing what is right, even when you are afraid. Kindness is not about winning or losing. It's about helping, even when it's hard. And wisdom is knowing what matters most and acting on it." Lumi's glow pulsed strongly, as if understanding every word. He pressed his small hand against Alex's cheek, leaving a faint trace of light that would fade, but never disappear from memory. The Queen gave a subtle nod, signaling that it was time. Alex stepped onto his craft, securing the controls. Lumi stood at the edge of the landing platform, glowing softly, his eyes locked on Alex's. "Goodbye, Lumi," Alex said. "Be brave, be kind, and remember me." The child nodded solemnly, a silent promise passing between them. Alex activated the engines and the scout craft lifted gently into the sky. As the craft ascended, Alex looked down at the palace one last time. He could see the glowing gardens, the floating bridges, and the towers bathed in soft light. And there, standing near the main gate, was Lumi, small but shining brightly. The child's glow pulsed in waves, a message of trust, gratitude, and hope. Even as the city faded into the distance, Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had left behind more than just a child. He had left behind courage, compassion, and the human spirit. During the journey back to the human fleet, Alex reflected on the lessons he had learned. He had faced an alien world, a civilization far more advanced than his own, and yet, through kindness, intelligence, and courage, he had made a difference. Humans, he realized, had a power beyond technology and strength, the power to connect, to inspire, and to change lives, even across worlds. Back on his ship, Alex recorded a message for future explorers. "The Lumari are a remarkable people," he said, "advanced, wise, and cautious. But humans, our courage, compassion, and ingenuity can make a difference even here. We must act with respect, humility, and empathy. This is the true power of humanity." Meanwhile, on the Lumari world, Lumi returned to the palace gardens, his glow bright and steady. He approached other children, guiding them gently, helping them understand the energy flows and crystal structures that fascinated him. The lessons he had learned from Alex stayed with him, shaping the way he moved, thought, and cared for others. The queen watched silently from her balcony. She had witnessed the courage of a human, the bond between alien and outsider, and the lasting impact of empathy and wisdom. Though she could not allow Alex to remain, she realized something important. Humans were capable of greatness, and their values could enrich even the most advanced civilizations. Over time, Lumi grew stronger, wiser, and more confident. He applied the lessons Alex had taught him, not just in controlling his abilities, but in understanding the world, helping others, and making decisions guided by morality and empathy. The child had learned courage, kindness, and wisdom, not from laws or tradition, but from a human who had dared to care. And though Alex Ryden was far away, exploring the stars and helping others, his presence lingered in Lumi's heart. Every glowing pulse, every act of courage, every decision guided by compassion carried a trace of the human who had believed in him. Years later, the Queen reflected on that brief encounter. The memory of Alex Ryden remained vivid, not as an outsider, but as a symbol of human potential. She had seen courage, ingenuity, and empathy in action, and she had witnessed the lasting effects a single human could have on a world unlike their own. The story of Alex and Lumi spread quietly among the Lumari. Children learned about the human who had saved one of their own, and adults spoke of his courage and wisdom. Even without remaining, Alex's actions had inspired a generation, reminding the Lumari that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness and bravery could leave the greatest impact. And so, across the stars, a human's legacy endured. It was not in the weapons he carried or the technology he commanded, but in the courage, compassion, and moral strength he had shown. Alex Ryden had saved a child, touched a civilization, and left a mark that would last far longer than he could have imagined. Back aboard his ship, Alex gazed out at the stars, feeling a quiet satisfaction. Humanity was far from perfect, but it had heart, it had wisdom, and it had courage. And through those qualities, humans could shine, sometimes brighter than even the most radiant stars. As he set a course for the next unknown world, he thought of Lumi, the glowing child he had saved. He smiled, knowing that the bond they shared would endure, and that somewhere, a young Lumari child was growing up inspired by the courage and kindness of a human. Alex Ryden, human explorer, hero, and friend, had left the Lumari world behind. But his story, and the story of humanity's potential, would never be forgotten.